Hello and welcome to the greenhouse again. It's very sunny, so once again I've got my sunglasses on because otherwise my eyes will be streaming. I have been to the garden centre today. Me and Mark took the kids to choose me a Mother's Day present for tomorrow. I've already got it. I got a Tradescantia, I'll show you, it's very lovely. Sienna picked it out for me. And I decided to buy myself a couple of these. I got really miffed when I got home actually because I thought they said 2 for £22. And I've had scabious this size before for 13-14 at a different garden centre, so I got 2. When I got home they're 3 for £22. So yes, it would have cost me a little bit more money. These were £19, £8.99 each. £99 each essentially. So I could have got 3 and I've got 2, but never mind. I'd set myself a budget, so I was working to that budget. Anyway, they are beautiful. This one, I've got this one. This is butterfly blue. This one is one I've got in front of the hydrangea Annabelle in the front garden. I think this one is the one that I took the division from the other day. This one is called Pink Mist. Yeah, and I've had these before. A different garden centre, same brand. So these will probably go in pots for my cottage garden area. So they are lovely because they're nice big ones, and you could easily split those. You could easily divide those up into maybe 3 or 4 plants if you wanted to, if you had a big space to fill and you were starting out. I'm not going to, I'm just going to keep them as they are. And then I got these sweet peas. These were 2 for £7. I was going to get B&M sweet peas again because they're always pretty good, but these ones are called sweet pea giant cut flower. So we'll see how they go. As I said in one of my other videos recently, I'm going to be growing sweet peas at home this year, not at the allotment, because I need to be here to deadhead them and to keep picking them more regularly, because they tend to go over at the allotment. Because if I get a few days where I can't go, it doesn't take long before sweet peas sort of run out of steam when you don't pick them enough. So they look okay, they just need dividing. I'll pop those into root trainers and grow them on out here in the greenhouse. Should be okay, we'll see. So I've also had some deliveries of things that I've been waiting for a little while, but I've also had some deliveries that I bought the other day as well. These came quite quickly. So these, I think they're from Sutton's, I forget now, it's either Sutton's, Dobbies and or Thompson and Morgan, but they're all the same company anyway. But they are hardy geraniums. So now I wanted to get my mum, I got my mum some geranium roseannes for Mother's Day, and a geranium summer skies, the one that I like, the one I've got, and I got her 6 penstemon from Jerkins, which I've got over here, and I'm just going to show you in a minute as well. So, but I also got myself a couple of geraniums. This is Hardy Splish Splash, and this is one bare root, and this one is Sanguinium striatum. I can't remember what this one looked like. This one was white with blue splashes in the petals. This one I can't remember, but I do think they were both quite long flowering, because that's my goal at the moment. So I've got those. So those came within just a few days, so that was quite quick. These came last week and I really wanted to get them out before now, but we've had a really horrible storm. There's no way I would have been out in the greenhouse in the weather we've had in the last few days. But these are from Farmer Gracie. Now my brother, I think I mentioned a few weeks ago, my brother gets me Farmer Gracie gift vouchers for my birthday, has done the last few years, and so usually I buy Dahlia tubers, but I didn't this year. I decided to buy some bare root perennial plants, and this one is Rebecca. Now I can't say this. Herbstson. Can you see that? Anyway, this is 3 bare root plants, and they looked nice. It says they grow to 1.2 to 2 meters, so I'll have to choose where I put those very carefully. So they look nice. Then in here we have another geranium. This is 3 bare root plants, a geranium album. Sorry, my kids keep coming out and talking to me. I thought that was them, it was the wind. This is geranium album, and this is a white one. It says plant within 3 weeks, yeah, and it gets 50 to 70 centimeters, and it's a hardy geranium again. We're going to have no room for anything else. There's just going to be hardy geraniums everywhere. And then I've got an Achillea. And this is for Achillea Summer Pastels Bare Roots. And then lastly, we've got 3 more geraniums. These are Alaska Rivers. So these have got shoots on them. They definitely need to be gentle with them, and I need to get them in the bag. And obviously Farmer Gracie comes from, is it the Netherlands, I think, Farmer Gracie? So they've come a long way as well, so they do really need to get put out. I've had a lot of success with Farmer Gracie plants. And then lastly, the one I've just mentioned is Penstemon Plum Jerkum. So I have 6 little plug plants like this. It is a beautiful penstemon. I'll put a photo up. There was a photo of it in my last video. I'm going to just pot these on and grow them on in pots this year. I'm going to put them in 9cm or 3-inch pots right now, just to get them growing. But I will possibly grow them in, pot them up again for the summer and grow them in pots in my little container area, because there's going to be a few perennials that I want to grow on in pots. I've also got, and I will show you when it comes because I've had it before, you may see it advertised a lot every year. You used to get 72 perennials for a tenner. Thompson and Morgan, Sutton's, Dobbies again, and or Dobbies. I don't know, how do you say that? How do you say that? Anyway, you get like so many. Well, they've changed it this year, so it's 60 for a tenner, and then you pay £7 delivery. Everybody in the comments always complains because, you know, £17 for 60 or 72 perennial plants is just outrageous. People want things for free, I think. I don't understand that. Anyway, I've had them before. They've always been very successful. So when they do come, I will show you how they come. They are tiny when they come, and I think people, when I see reviews of them that are bad, I think it's because people need to manage their expectations. You know, if you're paying £10 for 60 perennial plants, you need to understand that they are not going to come looking like this. They are probably going to come looking like this, or smaller. Actually, they're smaller than this. But there is Shasta Daisy, Crazy Daisy, there's an Achillea, and you get 5 of each plant now. You used to get 6 of each plant, now you get 5 of each plant, and there are 12 varieties. So yeah, you get 60 plants, and you can pay £20 and get 120. So if you've just moved somewhere and you're starting a new garden, it's a great way to do it, but you do have to be patient and understand that they're not going to look great in their first year. But there's Verbena bonariensis, there's Dianthus, there's Achilleas, there's Shasta Daisies, Coreopsis, Foxgloves. I've spoken about it before because I said foxgloves are not perennial, and it bugs me when people describe them as perennial because they're actually biennial. So yeah, but they're a really good set, and I've always found them to be worth it. You might find that a couple of the plants turn up looking a little bit battered and maybe don't survive, but I think for the cost and the amount you get, they're still good. But you do have to understand that you will need to put the work in to grow them on. You can't just shove them straight out in the garden and expect massive plants this year. So manage your expectations. Anyway, I'm going to get this little planted up, but I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I've had an idea for the allotment, and I want to see if you think we can make it work. So I'll get on with this and I'll be back in a minute. So that's the Rudbeckias done. I've labelled them up, although it should become apparent what they are soon, just in case. Right, just to make a bit of space. I am running out of space. I do need to have a really good tidy in here because we have got stuff everywhere and it's getting quite full. So what's next? Let's do the geranium album. These look big. These do look quite big. I might need to, we'll open them up and have a look at the size of them first, and then I'll decide on the pot. I'm going to need some biggish pots for these because the roots are quite significant. I really am running low on these plant pots. That's one. We can use this one. Problem with these, obviously, you then end up using a lot of compost. So I don't know about you, but I was very excited for the new series of Gardeners World last night. I was so tired, I ended up turning it off halfway through. So I've got the rest to watch tonight. Couldn't concentrate. My eyes were like, no, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. My fish and chips came, so I've just been and had my tea, and I've come back out, I've got my cup of tea. Gotta have a hot drink after fish and chips, I think, especially a cup of tea. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I've just been potting up I've done a lot of the geraniums now. I've done the Alaska Rivers and the geranium album. There was actually 4 in the geranium album pack. I think there was just like a little tiny scrappy one, but they looked absolutely fine and had some growth, healthy alive growth on it. So I think sometimes they just chuck an extra one in if there are some that don't meet their standards. There is a child out there, hello, and I think there might be 2 children out there actually. So that's what I've been doing. I've done some labels. I'm going to do some more plant labels, and I've just one more. This is Geranium sanguineum striatum. I honestly can't remember what this one looked like, but I know when I was looking for geraniums for myself, I was looking at long flowering ones. I did buy some for my mum as well for Mother's Day, and yeah. So this one, does not look good. In fact, it just looks like lots of broken roots, if I'm honest. That's what I've got. So yes, I think whatever tiny thing there was has snapped off. But what I will do, I will get a little pot. That's not going to do much. There's some more bits in here as well. That's disappointing. But we'll see. I'll just put it in the 9cm pot though. Got a little one here. Yeah, these were £3 each, and I would expect a little bit more than that for £3, but if it grows, it grows. So we'll just put some in there. Oh, there's a screaming child. So, plans for the allotment. I have decided striatum, we'll just call it striatum. I'll put J so I know what it is, because it might not pop up and I might not see any foliage from it. Yeah, I've decided that, so if you've been here for a while, you'll know that when I took on the allotment, it was my dad's, and it was lovely and it looked great, but I needed to reorganise it to work with my ADHD brain. I like things to be organised and compartmentalised because I can be very chaotic. I crave order and organisation, but I really struggle to put that into place. So as the beds were falling apart, things like that, things needed fixing. So instead of fixing things how they were, we decided to reorganise it and change it. And so by doing that, we've compartmentalised things a little bit. So I know that I'm growing so-and-so in this bed and so-and-so in that. And that's not to say that I can't grow things together. It's just that I needed decent sized paths. I needed to create an area that was as weed free as possible, just because when things grow up they get very overwhelming for me, and just have it look structured, you know what I mean? So that's why we put the metal raised beds in. We put the fence in to make it child friendly, although we haven't put gates on yet, or the arch. There's still a way to go on that, but that's a job for Mark for this year, because that was my birthday present last year, the fence, and he still needs to complete that, but we'll get to it before. The aim is to do that before the summer holidays this year, so that I might actually be able to take the kids up on my own. It's a little bit of a difficult thing to do because our youngest has no sense of danger, and she also can't understand most language. You know, you can't tell her don't go near that, it's dangerous. She just doesn't understand, or she doesn't show any signs that she understands. She may understand. She is coming along with her speech. She is starting to speak, and for the first time we do actually think that she will be fully verbal one day. How conversational she'll be, I don't know. She is autistic and has complex needs, if you knew. But so we need to make it safe for her. But I do feel like maybe this year, maybe I will be able to take them up, and we want it to be ready and safe in case we do. But what I want to do is I want to turn the allotment into a bit of a cottage garden allotment, because I wanted it to be beautiful. I wanted to organise it in a way that was very attractive, aesthetically pleasing, and I want to continue on that theme by creating pockets of cottage garden planting. So like I've put the pond in the corner, and we've got the little patio by the shed now, and what I'd like to do is, because we didn't put any kind of weed membrane down on purpose because I can't stand the stuff, I just think it creates bigger problems for you down the line. Might work well at the time, but I think, you know, weeds do start to grow in it. It starts to tear up. Those root fragments of pernicious weeds, get in them, you pull them out, it snaps a bit off. Where you had one plant, you've got 10 plants now, and ultimately ripping it all up and starting again is the only way you can really clear it out, and I didn't want to do that. So we put cardboard down and we put the wood chip down. Yes, we do get weeds coming through, but you can just get a little trowel and pull them out. You can either pull them out or dig them out, and it's easier that way. Weeding's always going to be a thing, but if you keep your wood chip thicker, you stand a chance of keeping mostly on top of it. So because when we've done that, I can just pull back the wood chip, dig a hole, put a nice plant in there, cover it back up with the wood chip. We've got a ready-made mulch, and hopefully we'll get some cottage garden plants going this year. So my plan is to excuse me, my plan is to grow the long flowering perennials that I am planning to grow here in the garden as well. So things like salvia, Nemrosa caradonna, the geums, we've got coral tempest, scarlet tempest and orange dream, the sterile varieties that flower for a long time. We've got Verbena bonariensis, Erysimum, Bowles mauve, I've got my scabious plants that I showed you earlier. Things like that, penstemons, other kinds of hardy geraniums as well. And the idea behind that is that they'll flower for a long time. They might need deadheading, but it might be minimal. And I can just create maybe like clusters of 5, 7 or 9 plants in a little corner somewhere that will just grow up and give that idea of a cottage garden without it being covered in perennials. As much as I'd love to cover it with perennials, I do actually need to walk through the allotment at times. So yeah, that's the plan, and it does mean that I am going to need to buy even more plants to get it started. So I'm going to be looking for smaller plants for the allotment. So I've bought bare roots, for example, for the garden at home in some plants, but then some plants I've gone and bought things like this hardy geranium Roseanne. Now these were 2 plants. I got these were quite expensive. They were 2 for £22 or something like that. They were in the 20s where I got them. I got them from Garden, but through a different seller. And whereas I've just bought my mum a pack of 6 geranium Roseanne bare root plants for £20. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to do for the allotment. I'm going to buy the smaller plants, so it's probably going to take a little bit longer for them to grow up and fill the spaces, but I don't have the money to I don't want to spend the money buying big established plants for the allotment. Maybe 1 or 2, but not many, because I'm going to be growing a lot of the food crops from plug plants and things this year, and that costs more than seeds, I think, but we'll see. So yeah, so I'm going to go now and start labelling everything, because there's still a lot of labelling left to do, and I don't want to forget which geums are which. I might actually have to watch last week's video just to see which ones they are already, to be honest. And I'll be back soon, because I've got something else to show you that are indoors that I wasn't going to buy this year. I got one of those sales emails in my inbox, and I couldn't resist. So let's have a look. It's getting cold. The sun is going down. It's lovely outside, but cold. So the last thing I wanted to show you, look how pretty that is. Dahlias. Like I said, I normally get dahlias when my brother gets me gift vouchers from Farmer Gracie, but I didn't this year. I got the perennials, we've just potted up. But what I did get was dahlias from Dobies. Is it Dobies or Dobbies? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, they were down to $1.99 a tuber. I got an email, they suckered me in, and I bought them. And I bought a few, more than I was going to do. Now I probably would have given in and bought some anyway, but I wasn't sure. But I am going to grow them, and I'm going to grow them in pots in the garden. Don't tell Mark. This pot container garden is getting a little bit, I'm getting a little bit carried away. I think my kids are going to have to go play on the street because we're just not going to have room. I just don't have room for kids and plants in this garden. Sorry kids. So I bought a pack of 3 that looked really lovely. I can't show you the pictures because of copyright. Someone's dragging a spade. I just looked, it's Mark. It's okay. It's not my 7-year-old. Anyway, so I got 3 tropical sheer heaven. Now it's a pinky, yellowy, tropical kind of, yeah, it looks tropical. And then I got a pack of, it was called the Berry Sorbet Mix 5 tubers. Now on the website it didn't tell you what those tubers were, what the varieties were called, but they are called Boom Boom White, Mediterranean, Purple Fox, Teesbrook Audrey and Purple Gem. And they were a lovely collection of pinky purples and white, and then the tropical sheer heaven, which I have 3 of. So yes, I wasn't getting any and now I've got 8. So, but that's how I do things, isn't it? So yes. Anyway, I think we'll leave this section of the video for now, and I will see you on the plot very soon. Bye for now.